Your Royal Highness, might I please enter? I understand that you wish to be left alone. However, I've come to deliver some great news that will certainly be pleasing to you.
Thank you, Your Highness. I do beg your pardon for the sudden intrusion. I am well aware that you have been experiencing a great deal of lament as we are fast approaching the day of your wedding with Princess Fenella. However, your father wished for me to advise you that everything has officially been cancelled. I would certainly not lie to you, Your Highness. The only reason as to why your father did not summon you himself was that he wanted to respect how distraught you were and presumed that I would most likely be the only one with whom you'd be willing to speak. Westerhelm has fallen out of favor with our allies in the south. It appears to be that once Fenella's brother, Prince Callum, had been married off to Princess Isabel of Morenheim, Callum had attempted regicide as a means of gaining complete control of the kingdom and its military. Once your father received word of this, he discussed the matter with his political and military advisors. They all agreed that it would no longer be politically advantageous nor safe for us to ally ourselves with Westerhelm at this time, and, as such, the wedding is no longer necessary. I knew you would be rather elated by the news. Believe me when I too say that I was quite relieved to hear that for your own sake. When I'd first caught wind of the arrangements, I was quite disheartened and, dare I say, even repulsed by the fact that you had absolutely no say in such a significant matter. Politics aside, this would certainly affect the rest of your life, and I'd hate for you to simply have to become complacent with the circumstances. In either case, I am quite happy that I can finally be able to provide you with some sense of ease. Though I would recommend that in the very near future we should at least begin to try to find a husband for you so that you don't have to be forcibly married to someone of no interest to you. I've come up with a few... Oh, yes, Your Highness. I suppose I did say husband. I do beg your pardon, Your Royal Highness, as I did not mean to overstep my boundaries as your servant. However, I have watched over you ever since you could hardly stand. I have served you dutifully as you grew up and became an honorable young ruler. I have been your confidant and will be taking several of your deepest secrets to my very grave. From all of the discussions we've had and from all of the observations I've made throughout your entire life, I would certainly be daft if I had no idea as to why you didn't wish to marry Princess Fenella. If I am correct, which I firmly believe that I am, I do wish to inform you that your desires are not to be ashamed of, nor should any have reason to be disgusted by you as their ruler. Our society has rapidly progressed ever since the union of King Lionel and King Roth of Malthahome. Several honorable members of nobility have begun proclaiming their attractions towards those of the same form, as it were. The year is 1520, after all. No one should be scorned for whom they love. Certainly the king and queen would accept you. They may have deemed the arranged marriage once suitable, but it certainly wasn't out of spite. I'm uncertain if they are even aware of your romantic interests. Certainly I have not said a word, as you have all of my confidence as your personal servant. Might I ask, though, has there been a gentleman, noble or otherwise, who has caught your affections? Titus the tyrant? I do mean Prince Titus of Northyard? Might I ask why you're so enamored by him? Oh yes, I do suppose he had a rather appealing luster for quite some time. However, I must regrettably inform you, Your Highness, that Prince Titus has not taken very good care of himself since he's inherited the birthright from his brother. I do mean in the sense that he may have let the power go to his head, and his face, and his stomach, his back. If it were only a matter of him having more pounds than a pound cake, I would certainly have no issue. It's just that he simply sits around all day in his loft and makes orders to his servants, lacking any sort of proper grooming or hygiene habits. The citizens of his kingdom go so far as to say that he has so many pustules that his wedding bed would be more suitable in a nurse's ward. Perhaps I can aid you in finding a more suitable prince, one with which you would eclipse all other royal couples in beauty and nobility. Well, allow me to ask, what do you think of Prince Ansel of Hollowvale? Small figure, hair as red as the sunset, gentle freckles across a boyish face. Well, no, the young man has not declared himself open to a relationship with a man per se. However, he has demonstrated a notable amount of shyness and aversion towards the maidens of the kingdom. One day, in fact, a voluptuous noblewoman desired by many suitors made a proposition to him, as it were. It said that he was so frightful, the poor lad retched upon her feet. Yes, I do suppose that, adorable as he may be, you would certainly benefit from one with a bit more gusto, your highness. Ah, how about Prince Thomas of Regalia Lake? In addition to being a fair young ruler, he is quite adept at fabricating masterpieces. Many would plead to have his works upon their walls, or even be able to approach the gate to listen to the virtuoso perform on his balcony in the evenings. He has been known to openly woo some of the finest bards and barkeep's sons in his kingdom. Of course, he would never engage in a proper courtly love dynamic with anyone not of nobility. Oh, wait. Actually, one important detail just came to mind. You see, despite his abilities as an artist, he is currently lacking in military prowess. He was sent off to Scaverdon recently to gain the expertise needed to aptly rule. This training of his could take years, and he would only be able to return should he need to take the throne prematurely. Lest you wish to run the risk of needing to take a bride before his return, I propose that we look elsewhere. Lord Alexander of Voles? While not of royal blood, he does have a noteworthy amount of prestige. A very capable soldier and archer in his own right. Beautiful mares and a large estate. And his dinner parties, oh, I've heard they're so bountiful they could fill even Beelzebub's endless stomach. He has been known to have interest in both femmes and fellows. I suppose with some persuading, the king and queen might be able to find some possibility of expansion in his land were it to become annexed. Just in case, however, speaking of Voles, how about Prince Not interested? All right, then. I shall not press you further on that. Frankly, I do not blame you. His eccentricities are certainly noticeable, if not in his demeanor, then certainly in his garments. Those blinding robes. If it were not for his jewels, one would certainly mistake him for the jester. I presume his clothier must do theatre work. Oh, allow me, your highness. Yes, he is. Okay, I shall. Yes, thank you, Miss Elise. Your highness, it seems as though you have a letter. It has a royal seal on it. It must be important. Read it to you? I would certainly never refuse your orders, your highness, but is it proper for me to put my nose in royal matters? We've not a clue as to its contents. Of course, I would never betray your trust, your highness. I would just hate to overhear secrets only fitting for your ears. Very well, if you insist, your highness. To my dearest prince, I was just made aware of the wedding between yourself as well as Princess Fenella of Westerhelm that is to take place at the end of this month. I do hope that your father has been made aware of Westerhelm's betrayal, as Prince Callum made an attempt at my father's life. I would hate for your kingdom, our greatest ally, to suffer in such a way that we might have. Because of this, I implore you to notify your father immediately and cancel the wedding. If he does object, I wish to provide a greater offer that may strengthen our alliance. I had never before seen your visage until last harvest. It was merely a portrait of you that I had observed at a baron's party. I could not help but be transfixed on that painting for the entire evening. As I lied down to sleep, my heart was simply aflight. I could not sleep, for when I closed my eyes, your elegance was there. I have suppressed this love I have had for you for months, and I am unable to contain these feelings any longer. If you are truly even half as beautiful, half as gentlemanly, half as charming as you were in the Baron's painting, I wish to see for myself. I shall not press you to find me desirable. However, at the very least, if our kingdoms are truly allies, then I wish to be able to call you my friend. I request that we make arrangements to meet at the earliest possible convenience, so that we may be able to get to know each other. If by some great fortune we should take kindly to each other, then I would be more than happy to rule by your side and bring our kingdoms together through marriage. I eagerly wait your reply. Sincerely, Prince Marcello of Morenheim? Oh, my days! Your Highness, this is absolutely marvelous! Prince Marcello is a very capable ruler, has single-handedly led armies to victory, and in terms of his physique, you would think he had sprung forth from your very dreams. Why, I myself am not interested in the male persuasion, but even I would... Oh, I do beg your pardon, your Highness. Would this be an offer you would consider? You would? Oh, most excellent, your Highness. Knowing your interests, I can assure you you will not be disappointed. I will order a letter announcing your impending arrival be sent out at once. Let us go to the King and Queen to settle the rest of the details. Do not worry. I am certain that the King will be thrilled with this good message. Even if he should oppose, the King must remind himself that the future of his kingdom lies in your hands just as much as it does in his. You are this kingdom's future, and your future is filled with things to look forward to.